Mm-hmm. We're gonna do for a temporary chair tonight.
So when now?
We're gonna do a vote for a temporary chair tonight. Because Jason's, he's vice and he's out of the country. So she's gonna
I'll
ask
call him.
that somebody, yeah,
Is that a tentative or you've confirmed?
somebody make a motion for me to serve as, you know, temporary for tonight. For tonight only. Yes. And then February, supposed to have more people here. They have a new person coming also, and Jason is probably gonna be here in February, so then we'll do the actual vote.
7 p.m. 7 p.m. We're ready to start.
Staff, would you mind calling roll?
We're going to actually start with the city attorney.
I was gonna say she has to go first to,
Yes, because neither the chair or vice chair is available tonight for this meeting, we will need the body to vote in an acting chair for tonight's meeting so that the acting chair can preside over the meeting and call for motions and things like that.
Commissioner Echols, I make a motion that we vote as acting chair for tonight.
Commissioner James.
So we just
So-
need a second.
Commissioner Parker, second.
Okay. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any nays? Okay, motion passes. All righty. Staff, would you mind calling roll to make sure we have a quorum?
Commissioner Parker,
Here.
Acting Chairwoman James,
Present.
Commissioner Smith,
Present.
Commissioner Echols.
Present.
Have a quorum, thank you.
Thank you very much. Let's stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Commissioners, I'm sure you've had time to look over the agenda for this evening. Would someone like to make a motion that we approve the agenda for tonight?
Commissioner Echols, I make a motion that we approve the meeting agenda for tonight's meeting.
Commissioner Smith, second.
Okay, we got a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any nays? Motion passes. Okay, also, Commissioners, have you had time to look over the meeting minutes from the December meeting? If so, I'd like for someone to make a motion to approve the minutes from the December meeting.
Commissioner Smith, make a motion to approve the meeting from December.
Got a motion? Is there a second?
Commissioner Echols, second.
Thank you. So we have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any nays? Motion passes. Okay. We are at the public comment section of the meeting this evening. There are a couple of ground rules I need to read for that. Comments to the Planning and Zoning Commission should be limited to no more than 3 minutes. Groups wishing to address an issue should select 1 or 2 spokespersons. The time allowed for all issues shall not exceed a total of 15 minutes. Issues raised at this time are generally referred to the Director of Planning and Zoning for review. Responses will be provided at a later date. Is there anyone who would like to speak? Public comments this evening? No comments? Okay, can I have a motion?
Just interject, there are no public hearings tonight on the agenda. So if anyone wants to speak about anything on the agenda or anything else, this is the time to speak.
Okay, no comments. All righty, can I have a motion that we close the public comment session?
Commissioner Smith, make a motion, we close the public comment.
Commissioner Echols, second.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any nays? Motion passes. We do have one item of old business tonight, which was tabled in the past, and I do think that it's been tabled again, correct, staff? Alrighty, so do we just need a motion to table again, or does staff need to present?
Council will give you an update.
Okay.
The applicant is proposing to table this item again so he can get some additional community engagement and for staff to further review the request.
Okay, wonderful. So, Commissioners, are there any questions or comments?
No.
Do we have a motion to continue to table item number 1, which is KBD rezoning and concurrent variances, to the February meeting?
Commissioner Echols, make a motion to table the KBD rezoning and concurrent variances to the February meeting.
Commissioner Smith, second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any nays? Motion passes. Okay, for new business tonight. Tonight we have one item of new business, which is Poplar Common Comprehensive Plan Land Use Amendment. Staff, would you give your report, please?
Greetings. The item before you is a comprehensive plan land use amendment. The applicant previously came before this body to request a rezoning in August. The Planning and Zoning Commission did not support it because of the comprehensive plan and some other concerns. So the applicant has now submitted a request to amend the comprehensive plan. If you recall, a few months ago, we created the process so that we'd have the tools and the standards for evaluating a comprehensive plan land use amendment. The property is currently zoned for AG, which is ag. The current future land use comprehensive plan designation is rural. The project area for this entire project is 6.3 acres. The property fronts Milo Fisher, Highway 92, and is also in close proximity to East Campbellton Street. The applicant is proposing to develop 31 single-family lots. So the applicant has submitted this request to change the future land use comprehensive plan land use designation from rural to town center mixed use. The rural designation is meant to preserve a rural feel and transition to very low density uses in the rural area surrounding the city of South Fulton, Fayette, and Coweta County. Town center mixed use character area includes downtown Fairburn and the surrounding core. Downtown is a historic node of the city with traditional commercial land use and limited residential developments. So that is the larger piece of the development which the applicant is now requesting to change that land use. The applicant has gone through a number of different concept plans associated with it. This is the second one that included single family. The applicant held quite a few neighborhood meetings at Landmark for the rezoning and for the comprehensive plan land use designation change. He held 2 public meetings. First public meeting, the neighborhood was concerned with a number of things. Housing density, traffic control, congestion, utility capacity and demand, the character of the neighborhood. They were concerned about the elevations and the designs and property values. And that seemed to be at both of those meetings. So the applicant did submit a application and looked at all of our standards in terms of staff analysis of it. There are quite a few relevant goals in the comprehensive plan that align with the request. Which is one of the items we look for. Specifically in the comprehensive plan, it says increase activity in downtown. It's asking for recruit residential and mixed-use developer to increase the housing stock. The comprehensive plan also mentioned that the city of Fairburn would have the following attributes in the future, which includes a diverse growing population, track mixed income residential base that supports a community that grows and meets the needs of all ages and lifestyles, attracts, retains, and grows both small and large businesses that offer good jobs, have an attractive and vibrant downtown, offers recreational opportunities that fit the community needs. So the requested change from rural to town center mixed use is in conformity with that goal of recruiting residential and encouraging mixed use developers in the downtown area. One of the second items we look for is how the proposed designation would impact public safety, health, and welfare. One of the concerns that's been constant from all of the community meetings has been the impact of traffic in the area, and that could certainly impact public safety. In terms of the extent to which the additional land needs to be made available, we just recently completed a housing study that's available on our website, and the housing study did show a significant increase in our population. We have a very growing, robust population, and the growth will, in the future, according to our housing study, will come primarily from the age groups of 20 to 24, 55 to 85 plus. This points to a growing number of young singles and professionals, as well as empty nesters and retirees, many of whom will require a variety of housing products. So in terms of the housing study, the request does align with that density. It says They gave us a 5-year projection, and it says for a total of about 70 units a year and up to 350 up until 2028, which is when we would reevaluate kind of where we are. Whether or not the proposed land use would adversely affect the adjacent usability of the properties, potentially, yes. It could be detrimental, depending on the adequate upgrades and traffic improvements and making sure that it's not burdensome on the existing population. There's a principle or a standard that also looks at whether or not there is other available land. And yes, of course, we have significant pieces of land in the city that are undeveloped. So there is other areas in the city where a project of this nature could be developed. But because of its alignment with the comprehensive plan, we understand the request. So having reviewed the application, the current use of the property, the level of development occurring in the area, current infrastructure and natural resources, proposed development does align with the comprehensive plan. If this, of course, is approved, I would highly recommend that we do some additional analysis related to traffic and infrastructure upgrades to support that future demand. And that, of course, would be aligned with conditions that would be tied to a rezoning. But in terms of just supporting it, staff has to support the request because of its alignment with both the housing study and also the future land use goals and initiatives. In terms of a lot of the requests we've seen, they've been more infrastructure heavy, considering and in comparison to that, this proposal does align with some of those goals related to land use in the comprehensive plan. Are there any questions for me?
Do you remember off the top of your head, or do you have it, how many units are in this?
I think it's 29 now. I believe at one point it was up to 40, but I believe it's 29 now, but the applicant is available to confirm what the current unit request is.
And these were townhomes or individual?
Initially, it was townhomes. After the first meeting, the applicant changed it to single family, but they were very close. And after the last neighborhood meeting, I believe the current version of the concept plan includes single-family homes on the front and then behind it, townhomes.
Okay.
But the majority of the lots, I believe, may be townhomes, but the applicant can correct me on how many units and the type of units.
Are there any other questions for staff?
No.
Okay, thank you. And the applicant is here this evening?
Yes.
Okay.
Good evening. Happy New Year.
Good evening. Wonderful, how are you?
Acting Chair, Commissioners, it's good to see you. Thank you for the opportunity to appear before you.
I think you have to give your name and address for the record.
Yes, ma'am. My name is Stephen Jones. I'm with the law firm of Taylor English Stuma. My address is 1600 Parkwood Circle, Suite 200, Atlanta, Georgia, 30338.
Thank you.
As staff mentioned, this is a proposal for a comprehensive land use amendment. This property is being proposed for rezoning as well, which this board heard in August of last year. There are 2 other parcels that are associated with that, which are also within the TCMU designation under the comprehensive plan's future land use map. The future land use map, however, for the parcel that's at issue tonight designates it as rural residential. We're requesting, of course, to move that to the TCMU district consistent, or TCMU character area on the future land use map, consistent with the other parcels that are adjacent to it and that are also part of the proposed development. See here the proposed overall site for the development, as well as its adjacency to Landmark Christian School. Here, highlighted in red, is the subject property, which is before you tonight. Again, this application is just for the comprehensive plan. It's not about the proposed development. It's about whether or not this parcel should be in the TCMU character area or whether it should remain in the rural residential character area. The rural residential character area, the comp plan describes it as, and I won't reiterate what staff said, but this is exactly the same thing that staff pointed out, is it's meant to preserve very low density in the rural areas surrounding the city near South Fulton, Fayette, and Coweta counties, with lots of 1 acre or larger that are appropriate in this area. The TCMU zoning district, however, on the other hand, is the character area around downtown Fairburn and its surrounding core. So you look at downtown and you imagine the surrounding area. But I was going to say circle, but more oval, right? That is the TCMU district. The downtown is the historic node with traditional commercial land uses and limited residential development, but lots in that area are typically small with zero lot line buildings and shallow enough setbacks from the street right-of-way. Within the TCMU district, which again is directly adjacent to this property, and it's the property owned, and this property is owned by Landmark Christian School, the applicant owns the two other properties that are part of the overall rezoning request. But the TCMU zoning, TCMU character areas, development strategies are to maintain the integrity of the interconnected grid and pedestrian circulation, support transit-oriented residential developments, encourage a variety of housing sizes, and the goal is for it to become the center of daily life, which if you'll remember from the rezoning, that's what that proposed development is. But I do want to be careful, we're not discussing the proposed development, we're discussing this parcel and whether it should fit in to the TCMU character area, regardless of the proposed development. The comp plan has a variety of goals, some of which staff highlighted on. In the downtown, townhomes are shown as an option. As staff mentioned, the current plan includes others, but there's also a need for housing around the colleges, around the downtown area. There's expressed in the comprehensive plan the desire and need to attract various types of housing for all stages of life, to increase the stock of the housing in the downtown area, and to ensure that the zoning ordinance allows those variety of housing types. If you'll see here, this is an excerpt from the market study that staff mentioned, where it says that higher forms of housing, such as townhomes and cottages and smaller lot sizes, should be located near downtown Fairburn, where there's a mixture of density and is naturally higher than other land uses. Lower density, on the other hand, the housing study says, such as single-family subdivision and estate lots, should be on the periphery of the city near its edges. The city's housing plan goes on to discuss various types of housing that is projected and recommended within the city. That includes a two-story cottage product with attached rear loaded, as well as townhomes. And those are projected at up to 26 units per year for the townhomes and up to 70 units per year for the cottages. So what that means is that takes us to what does the TCMU district call for. The TCMU district really asks for that infill type of development that's naturally felt in a downtown core. When you look at the housing study, you look at the comprehensive plan, and you look at the TCMU districts that are on adjacent lots, we feel that it really fits for this parcel to be designated within the TCMU district. And I want to highlight that. If you look at this property as it sits in comparison to other properties that are within the TCMU district, it does appear to be more similarly situated to those TCMU designated lots than the rural residential to the south that it's assigned to it. So we feel that this rural residential character area applied to this property is not the right fit for it, and that the comprehensive plan supports that. So for that reason, I'd ask that you follow staff's recommendation and recommend that the City Council approve this amendment to the comprehensive plan and designate this parcel as within the TCMU character area on the future land use map. If the commission has any questions about the application, I'd love to address those at this time. I do
Commissioner?
thank you for your time and
Thank
having-
you. Commissioners, any questions?
I have a question, Commissioner Parker, where it says the industrial designation could have a negative environmental impact. Can you elaborate on that?
Say that one more time.
Was that staff?
So that was staff, and
Okay.
any kind of change in land use could have a negative impact on the surrounding area. There is I believe there's some creeks and buffers on this property as well. So there could potentially, but the Blue Book, our Public Works Department, Community Development, and we have a team of engineers that would ensure that any development would adhere to all of the regulations. So, but that is one of the concerns related to this development, not necessarily industrial, but the density change, and because it has that buffer, so there is an environmental component to it.
Okay.
Commissioner Parker, with respect to this parcel, there is a stream course on it. However, the applicant in the other related applications and in this application is not requesting any variance or deviation from state or local law to the buffers and setbacks designed to protect natural resources that have been established by the General Assembly as well as the City Council. So that expressed generally with any change in density or any change, comprehensive plan designation has been addressed.
And so the change from residential to TCMU is just the fact that is there any retail component to this, or is this just townhomes and different variations of living space?
Right. The proposed rezoning proposes single-family detached as well as an attached product. That's not, this application is not specific to any development. This application asks, from a policy standpoint, is this parcel properly designated as rural residential, or is it more properly designated as TCMU, consistent to that sea of purple you see on your screen? But if you have questions about the related rezoning, I'd be happy to address those, but I just want to differentiate the two applications.
And in relation to what the community feels about this project, you said there were 2 public meetings, or someone, was it staff? Were there 2 public meetings held?
There's been 2 public meetings recently. Prior to that, I believe there were 3 others, so there's been 5 with respect to the rezoning.
Okay, and can you tell me the largest number of attendees at maybe one of the meetings?
Yeah, 20, I'd say, between online and in person. I don't have the attendee list in front of me, I apologize.
What kind of concern did the resident have about the project?
So with respect to the rezoning project, that's a different proposal. That's not the proposal tonight. But with respect to that, we heard concerns about density, lot size, traffic, some natural resource concerns. And we felt that as we've gone through various plans, which I can show you, that we've tried to address those. When the project was first proposed, this was the plan for all attached townhome products coming out on Highway 92 with a side access on Milo Fisher. Based on community meetings and involvement before that, we then transitioned to a different plan with only attached products, with the entrance lining up with the Landmark Christian School's entrance to the north, and utilizing an unimproved but already dedicated Church Street right-of-way for the city, so we would improve city right-of-way. And that product, again, it took away the attached product in favor of a 45-foot wide lot. Based on even more community meetings and input, we heard some concerns about density and lot size, so that we then transitioned to a wider product that then became a 55-foot wide product, which you see on your screen, and that reduced the lot count. We also maintained the road configuration because that was the concern expressed with the first townhome product. Then, based on yet even more community input, we transitioned to a mixture of, I believe, 65 and 55-foot wide lot sizes, with the 65-foot wide lots fronting on 92 and Milo. And And then with the more dense, the 55s interior, the idea behind that was to give a lot size that was more consistent with some of the surrounding area. And so we felt that that was a good mix. We then carried that and presented that at yet another community meeting. I believe that was the 5th. That was the 4th. At the 4th community meeting, we then presented this plan. This plan increases the lot size on the outside to a 65-foot wide product, and then retains townhomes on the inside. So we get the mixture of products. We also are able to provide a number of housing, which makes the development sustainable. When you look at a home sales price, right, 25% of the home value is in the dirt. Right? So the more homes you can get on a project, the more we can get the final sales price to an attainable level, which is really what we're shooting for here. You know, this is not a development which would be exclusive to faculty or families of Landmark Christian, but we're certainly targeting that market. We see that with other private schools in Georgia and really elsewhere, that there are villages that are designed and targeted to provide housing for families and faculties. And to do so, they have to be at an attainable price point. And when you're looking at larger lots, that you might see in those rural residential or in those larger subdivision estate lots outside of the downtown core, those get to price levels which we don't think are attainable for, you know, that market that we're trying to cater to, faculty, staff, and students. And so with this product, we really think it's a great mix. You know, we've got a lot width which is consistent with lots that we see throughout. Of course, there are bigger lots throughout this general area of the city, but we do see some 65-foot or about width lots in this general area. But then we took the townhomes and moved them to the back. So they're buffered from the roadway, they're buffered from Milo Fisher, they're buffered from 92. So you get that density in the rear, but then you preserve the look on the outside. And another cool feature about this is I mean, we've all seen it in the market, right? The push really isn't, and of course there's people who still want a large yard, they still want to maintain it, they still want to mow it on the weekend. I work all the time, I'm here tonight, right? I've got young kids, it's hard to maintain a yard and a big lot. These give the width consistent, but they also preserve a low maintenance lot by decreasing the depth and providing that internal space to the development. So we really felt that this was a fair compromise with all the concerns that we've heard. And again, this is the 4th plan that we've been through, and the applicant's been working at it and trying to refine it based on community concerns for almost a year now. So that's that plan.
So that, you know, I mean, the changes you're making, so is that less traffic off of 92 and Milo?
Yeah, that would push all the traffic onto Milo Fisher, which Milo Fisher connects to the street grid, which you have a variety of different streets that you can take from Milo Fisher, not just 92, to access other parts of the city's street network.
Are there any other questions from the commissioners?
No.
Thank you. Was there anything else from you?
Yes, Acting Chair, I do just want to reiterate, though, we have discussed the project. I do want to kind of divorce the project from this application, because this application really focuses on policy and the comp plan and the surrounding area. But I do appreciate the opportunity to appear before you, and thank you so much. We do really hope that this product provides an asset to Fairburn, and we look forward to being a member of the community. Thank you.
Thank you. We appreciate all the work that has gone into making this project amenable to the community. So now, commissioners, if there are no more questions, we can put this item to a vote. Is there a motion to oppose or confirm? Is there a motion to pass this item?
Commissioner Echols, I make a motion that tonight's new business popular comment comprehensive plan land use amendment be approved and sent to council.
Okay,
Commissioner Parker, second.
okay. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any nays? Okay, passes. Thank you. All right, that was the only item we had of new business this evening, so at this point, if there are no other questions, comments, would someone like to make a move to adjourn?
Commissioners to make a motion to adjourn.
Commissioner Parker, second.
Okay, all in favor to adjourn, say aye.
Aye.
All, no, any nays? Okay, we are adjourned. Thank you.